recorded. So, here we are, October the 6th. We just went through an incredible August. We just went through an incredible September. We didn't quite make 13 million, but we're nipping at it, right? We're nipping at it. And John's probably right. We're probably going to be right at 15 million, could be a little above 15 million, if we keep up the pace by year end. So tremendous things are happening in the business. And I was on with John Arenza the other day doing a call, and he said, Chuck, he said, my check, he said, it's unbelievable. He said, he said, I've never made this much money in my life. And he said, my check was over $137,000 for the week. And I said, that's great, man. That only proves that, the comp plan works, right? And it works and it pays. And, because you've done it, other people can follow and do what you're doing. He said, and we also have 6 people now that are making $100,000 a week. I said, amazing. That's just amazing, and some of those people have had no experience in this industry, which, and I hate for, but, as people, we just compare, right? I mean, that's just what we do. So, right off the bat, I go, well, geez, I've had 30 years experience in this industry and I'm not making $100,000 a week, but I know it's coming. It's just in due time. So, I have the patience, I have the perseverance, I have the belief, I have the commitment, I have all of those things. I mean, like tonight's call. I mean, I really didn't want to do tonight's call, but it's my commitment, right? I'm committed to doing these on every Sunday night. I'm committed to doing an opportunity call every Monday and every Wednesday, and participating with Mitch and whoever else asked me to participate on their Zooms. So, I'm committed. I guess, if you probably heard that before, the chicken and the pig, right? Both of them made a commitment, but the pig, gave his all to make sure that you had breakfast. So a little bit about myself. If you don't know who I am, that's my buddy Rocky over there. I've been around the industry longer than a lot of people have been alive. And I never thought I was ever going to be in Valentis. I could have bet you $1 million that I would not have been in Valentis. But you know what? There was just no way around it. There was just no, after I did my due diligence, after I did, everything that I needed to do to build my belief, to answer all of my questions, then it was just obvious. I mean, I just said, I got to do this. I mean, I have to do this because, otherwise I'd be leaving millions of dollars. Now, if you don't have an aspiration to making that kind of income, then it's okay. I do. I have a lot of things that I still have to get done in the short period of time that I have left to get it done in. And so, hitting this one out of the park will give me the financial strength that I need in order to accomplish a few other things that I need to get done. Make sense? Okay. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, right? If you heard, I don't know why I picked this quote of the week. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending, right? I mean, that's what Les Brown was just talking about, right? You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you're at right now, today, and you can change the ending. So, whatever that ending is, you can change that ending because you have now been exposed to something that is gigantic, that has the potential to, just think about it for a second. Don't think about $139,000 a week. Just think about, what if it was $10,000 a week? Would that change your life? What if it was $50,000 a week? You know, what if it was the money that Rick is making, or the other people are Don Carson is making, and it goes on and on and on. Jen Menendez, you know, I mean, $93,000 a month. I mean, you know, God bless her. So, you know, we can't go back and change the beginning. You know, a lot of people say, well, Chuck, I'd love to have started when you started. Well, yeah, maybe, you know, I think I hit it pretty good, you know, because it was May, June of 2018, and I was kind of right on the cusp of that growth. But here we are, right in the middle of that growth. And, you know, we're going to go from 10, 12, 13 million to 50 million a month, 50 million a month. And that's going to be gigantic. So, yeah, 6 people earn 100 grand a week or more. Don't join an easy crowd. And this is not an easy crowd, right? Go where the expectations are high, the challenge is great, and the demands are many, and the victory is sweet. You know, there's a lot of reasons why people don't succeed in this industry. And I'm gonna hit up and talk about some of those in a second. But, you know, one of the things that Les just said was that you have to inspect, right? You have to inspect your progress. You know, so I pulled this today. I left the ID number off, but you know, I wanted you to see, you know, where some people are at. Now, you know, they're sitting here with a lot of banked volume on the left side and a growing business, you know, in 6 days, 36,950 BV into that. They need to do some work on, you know, they've got money sitting in the bank that they can't collect on until they get some BV on the right. So you got to go into a commitment phase, just like Les said. Hey, you know, if I was selling televisions, or if I needed 1,000 BV, you know, to happen this week, I would stay there and do whatever was necessary for me to do in order to get that 1,000 BV, so I could start, you know, eating away at some of that banked volume and start earning some income. Because at this rate, there's no income to be earned, right? So you just gotta make that commitment and just go for it, right? You know, where are you and what are your numbers? I mean, you need to look at it yourself. I mean, you are your own boss with Valentis, and that's part of the challenge, right? I mean, for those people that have never owned their own business, this is something brand new, right? This is something that you're not accustomed to doing. You're accustomed to having, maybe taking instructions and, you know, letting people tell you when to go on vacation, when to have lunch, and when to do this and when to do that. You've been an employee, right? Now you're your own boss. And that sometimes is very confusing and very scary, quite frankly. So the process, I was talking to somebody today about the process, and, you know, we have such a very simple process. And, you know, I've gone over this 1,000 times. I'll probably go over it 1,000 times. But, you know, the process is really simple. And that is that you just got to call people, right? You got to call people that you know, you love, you care about, you're familiar with, they're familiar with you. I mean, all of us have got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of friends. And why it's so scary to call a friend and say, hey, Joe, aren't you a coffee drinker? Yeah, I am, Chuck. Yeah. Hey, Joe, have you ever tried to lose weight or been on a diet or found that, you know, losing weight was, you know, almost impossible? Are you kidding me? I'm always trying to lose weight. You know, I'm big boned. I have a, you know, thyroid problem. I have a hormonal problem. I'm just, you know, a big person. No, you're not. You know, you're not destined to be as big as you are if you don't want to be. And, you know, if you'd like to lose some weight, I've got an incredible product. I came across an incredible product manufactured by a 5-year-old company and they introduced this product. It is a weight loss coffee. It's unbelievable. You know, and what happened to me was that I didn't think it was going to work for me. I started drinking 2 cups of coffee every morning because I'd like to lose some weight. You know, I was thinking maybe 15, 20 pounds. Now I've lost 40, but I lost 9 pounds the first week. I lost 18 pounds the first month. And, you know, was it the best coffee I had ever drank? No, it wasn't. You know, did it work? Absolutely. You know, did I keep drinking it? Positively. You know, I put a little sugar in it. Sometimes I put a little of this, put a little of that in it, and it still worked, right? So now I'm down 40 pounds. I've lost 7 inches from my waist. My waist is gone. I mean, I'm wearing a pair of 34-inch shorts, and I have to take a belt and cinch them up so that they don't fall off. So, you know, pretty amazing stuff. So, you know, and you know, the other part of that is that, you know, now you got to get somebody a sample, and, you know, you ask them to call you. You know, when I write, if I'm mailing those samples to them, I go right on the back of that envelope. Hey, please call me when you get this. I put my phone number right there so they don't have to look it up, and so that we can talk about the best way. You know, the best way to drink this product. Most people get it in the afternoon. They'll call me either that afternoon or the next day and say, hey, I got that package. Hey, that's great. You know, and I go over with them the best way to consume that product. And, you know, that is a great time to just say, hey, hang on a second, you know, and dial somebody in, dial me in, dial Mitch in, dial Mary and dial Dell and dial, you know, whoever your upline is, whoever your support system is, whoever you're working with, and just say, hey, you know what? One of the guys that I work with just called me, and I thought I'd introduce him to you. So boom, I'm going to connect us. And hey, Chuck, this is John, my buddy John. He just got my coffee samples today. Tell him what's going on. You know, boom. And, you know, the end of the story. So great time to do a 3-way. I always pre-enroll somebody that I send samples to. Why? Because it reminds me that I sent them, right? And it gives me the date and all of those things. And it puts that person in the loop. They start getting emails from the companies. They're getting, you know, all the information from the company. And, you know, if I put another person in, or they get some spillover from, you know, some of the line above, wherever they happen to be, they get an email that says, you know, your team is growing. I go, what do you mean my team is growing? I haven't even done anything. What is this? And that usually generates a phone call. And that phone call then prompts me to take them to, oh, hey, let me show you your back office. You know, I told you that I put you in the referral system. We call it pre-enrollee, you know, and I show them how to get into the pre-enrollee back office. I have them watch the Powerline movie and kind of get them indoctrinated, right? Kind of get them indoctrinated as to what's going on. So, and I tell them, hey, you can get paid on all of those people. Here's one of the things that, you know, that I really wanted to chat about. You know, it's success for all of us is achievable if you want it bad enough. If you have that burning desire, if you want to do something with your life over and above what you've already done. But if you don't want it bad enough, then it really doesn't matter. You know, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want the time and financial freedom? I wanted it bad. I have always wanted it bad, right? I always had that burning desire to have time and financial freedom, especially after you achieve it. And that's another thing that you need to maybe put down on your list. Who do you know in your life who has made a lot of money and lost it, right? Who do you know in your life who has made a lot of money and lost it? I got a friend who made $330 million and he lost all of it. And, you know, he's on the product right now. Now he's not in a real good mood, but I'm moving him along, and it's a process of moving him through, through everything. He made a great compliment. I thought it was a great compliment. He called me the other day and he says, "Hey man," he said, "I was watching, some of your videos, which I appreciated." And he said, "Aren't we about the same age?" And I said, "Yeah," I said, "I think we are." And he said, "Man," he said, "you look like you're 49. He said, "What is it?" And I said, "It's the coffee." I mean, what else can I say, right? It's the coffee. I said, "I've lost 40 pounds. I took, weight off my face and everything." So, do you want success bad enough to spend the time doing what must be done? Just like with anything, just like with your education, right? I mean, we went to grade school, we went to high school, a lot of us went to college, some of us went beyond college, some of us went even beyond that, and then we went into the workforce and we had to learn whatever it was, we had to do there. It's always a process of something that's got to be done. This is no different. I came into this industry and came into Valentis with 30 years of experience, knowing exactly what to do, exactly what not to do. But a lot of you came in here with no experience, never had been in network marketing before. And you have to, there's that learning curve that you've got to go through. So you've got to spend the time, the energy, the money in order to take you through that learning curve. And how long is that learning curve really depends upon you, right? It depends upon how much time you're going to devote to participating, and do you want it bad enough to learn from others that have done it before? Sometimes there's an ego. Sometimes there's a lot of other things that get in the way of, just learning the business. Success is not easy. It's time consuming, right? It is inconvenient. It's even frightening. We tell people to get, out of their comfort zone. Hey, that's frightening, right? Success will challenge you. It will make you stretch. Right? It'll make you uncomfortable to the point of sometimes people getting sick, right? And it will force you to quit. I mean, that's how things happen, right? It'll just force you to quit. You go, enough of that. I've had enough of that. And then you're back to being, whatever it is you were doing in the past. And again, where you spend your time, and again, Les was talking about that. You can evaluate, all you have to do is look at somebody's checkbook, credit card receipts, right, and their day planner, right? Where do you spend your time? Where do you spend your money? Where do you spend your time? Where do you spend your money? Those are the two most important things in most people's lives. And so how much time do you devote to Valentis, and how much money do you devote to Valentis? If it is, hey, I bought a business builder pack and I still have all those 350 samples here, I'm drinking them, that's not going to work. So, how bad do you want it? How much time, how much money are you willing to invest in the journey? And the journey, my journey has now been 31 years. Like I said, never thought that I'd ever be in Valentis. But had I not have made that decision, then I wouldn't have found, a way. I was searching for a way to create that nest, right? That financial nest that I needed to do some other things. So, hey, one of the things that somebody brought up to me today, and we haven't talked about it much, she dropped me an email and she said, I know you're excited about the coffee, but, that's really just for people that want to lose weight. And, that's correct. And she said, but, the Emulin product is something that everybody should have. Everybody should be taking the Emulin product. And I said, you know what? I said, I really hadn't ever thought about it like that. But I said, you're absolutely right. And now that it's in, the back office. The C is not back there yet, and all of that is coming. And I hear that, the major inventory is coming. So the C will be back there in any quantity. The M is there right now in singles that you have to buy on singles. So I started looking at it today, right? And and I started reading about it. I went to PrevailEmulin.com. That's where I got these two pictures. And I started going online and, looking at the Dr. Joe's, some of his information and, what the product does and everything. And you know what? I'm starting my regiment, the 30-day loading phase, right? The first month, 30-day loading phase, 6 caps a day, which is 180 caps a month. Each bottle is 60 caps, so I'm going to go through 3 bottles of these the very first month because I'm going to get it into my system. And, inflammation, immune support, mental clarity, Lord knows I need a little bit more mental clarity. but and a lot of other things, so I'll let you know in 30 days, how I feel. So after the 30 days, 4 caps a day, 120 caps a month, each bottle again, 60 caps. So I'll go through 2 bottles a month. So if you weren't a coffee drinker, that would be 100 BV, right? Basically, you get to have 3 products and get 100 BV. But this could be 2 of them. I see the trim is back up on the website again. A lot of people were asking about the trim. So, here's again the commitment, that Andre has made, that I've made, that Mel has made, that Mitch has made, and I know Diamond Dell and Double Diamond Mary have got lots of Zooms that they're doing for their organizations in Micronesia and in Africa, and just doing a fabulous job. And I'm going to get their schedules as well and put it on here. But, what your commitment is to find people to put on these. We don't do it for the practice, right? We don't do it for the practice. We've already been through that phase of practice. Now we do it to help you grow your business. So take advantage of it, load it up, and, don't say, hey, no problem if you can't do it Monday. We do these every day. That's not the way to sell an event. The way you sell an event is you say, hey, Joe, there's something special happening tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Never going to happen again. You got to be on this, live presentation. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, live presentation. Yeah, Joe, I'm going to send you the link that you can click on, and then we'll talk afterwards. So I want to see you up there, right? And so you've got to sell it with some urgency, with some, it's special, never going to happen again. And it won't, exactly like that, exactly the same way, exactly the same words, won't happen like that ever again. So you're not really saying anything untrue. You're just saying that it's live, and don't say, hey, don't worry, we recorded and I'll get you the recording. No, let's do it live, right? So, guys, I was going to put a lot more information, but I knew that this would probably take us right to that 30-minute mark, which it has. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the share. We got a pretty good number of people on. That's great. And, I've asked Mitch to come in and say a few words. So, Mitch, let's see. You can probably unmute yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
Okay, cool.
What's up, Chuck? What's up, everybody? I'm fired up today. Of course, I'm always fired up.
Mitch just got a brand new car,
Oh,
I told him to go car shopping while he was in Florida, right? I said, hey, go out car shopping. You can meet a lot of great people, and, you're out there perusing and looking, and it's always great to look at cars. So, all of a sudden he says, "Hey, I just had a car delivered." And I said, "Well, good, congratulations." So,
Yeah. Well, the problem with car shopping, it's kind of like shoe shopping. You go just to look and you wind up buying shoes. And,
yeah.
instead it was a lot more expensive than the shoes if y'all didn't see a picture of it. But so what's up, Chuck? You want me to, what do you want me to talk about?
Well, some of the things that we were chatting
Okay.
about, earlier,
Okay.
because I think it's, appropriate for the time.
Yeah. It's interesting. The people that seem to not make money and then complain that they're not making money, or you hear them grumbling, or they're jealous when they hear all these people, all these big numbers. And let me tell you something, if you put in the effort that those people that are making the big dollars each week are putting in, you'll make the money too. I mean, it's just that simple. And, and people don't understand that, the problem here is that this business costs 600. I mean, all in, the most you can possibly spend is $1,200 and some dollars, right? Or $600 and some dollars. And, you look at a traditional business owner. I've got some of my team on here that happen to own a traditional business. PK and Tui or at least PK's on here, I know. But let me tell you, they've got time invested, and they've got their name on a lease, and they've got lots of money invested. And, you're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So, it's pretty difficult to walk away from that type of a time and money investment. In other words, you don't just throw up your hands. They happen to own a really great restaurant here that I've been eating in quite a long time now. And, just because somebody doesn't like that kind of food, you don't throw your hands up in the air and say, "I'm done." Right? The problem here is you're at risk for what, $600? And $600 is easy to walk away from. Right? So what I tell people is, imagine if you started Valentis. Imagine if you started the company, and you've, bought a building, and you've got employees, and you've got a warehouse, and you came up with this incredible, amazing breakthrough product. And you've got 50,000, 500,000, your entire life savings invested in this company. Well, when somebody says you're crazy, they don't like the coffee, whatever they're going to say, does that stop you? Do you throw your hands up in the air if you had that kind of money invested? It's kind of a mental game you got to play with yourself, because for me, in my mind, I own the company. Dave started the company, but it's my company. And that's the way I treat it, as though I started it, and I've got all my life savings invested in it. And, suddenly if you got that much at risk, you become kind of fearless. Listen, Tui and PK, they own a Vietnamese restaurant. Not everybody likes Vietnamese food. Not everybody likes hamburgers. Right? So, she's out. I mean, I'm sure when she's talking to her friends and people, I own a restaurant. It's wonderful food. And somebody says, "Well, I don't like Vietnamese food." I mean, she doesn't run back to the restaurant and close the doors and quit because somebody doesn't like Vietnamese food, right? That's essentially what's going on with a lot of people, is they don't take it serious because they don't have enough money invested. Chuck put an email or a text out or something out earlier about people paying thousands of dollars for training. Well, I got news for you. People go to those trainings, GoPro and all this other stuff, and they spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and you get the same exact training here for free. Chuck's experience over 30 years and so many others that contribute. It's incredible. So, I guess the point is that if you treat it like a business, it pays like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it pays like a hobby, and hobbies don't pay. Hobbies actually cost you money, right? So then you've got people out there that say, you know what? They see the bigger picture. I say, hey, you know what? My job is to paint a picture for people so that they can start to see the bigger picture, so that they know that the time they invest is worth it. So I paint the picture, or I help paint the picture with the help of Chuck and Rick and others on the phone, like he was talking about. And if I do a good enough job painting the picture, then, people start to, see the bigger picture and take it seriously. But it really is amazing, Chuck, how many people,
Mitch, we
don't do
talk
that.
about that all the time, and it's kind of a worn out phrase, treat it like a business.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people just don't understand what that actually means. And having been a business owner for 16 years and had 125 employees and had my name on everything, I had to bust my rear end to make sure that I knew what my nut was every month. It was this, and everything above that was mine, right? Sometimes.
Funny. It's funny you should say that, because in my previous business with my franchise, my overhead was about 30 grand for the month. So in other words, I had to make 30 grand before I started making any money.
Right.
Boy, I showed up at work every day.
Yeah.
I talked to people every day. I did whatever I had to do because, again, you're at risk for a whole lot more. So that's why, that's why people here that take it seriously. And by the way, one other thing, Chuck, if 70 to 75% of the people don't take it seriously and don't do anything, why would anybody be? And that's why we could make so much money, because we're the ones that are doing it. Why would it be surprising at all that somebody won't do anything? In my mind, it makes perfect sense,
right.
But I'm grateful for those people because they come in, they enjoy the product, they help some friends out with their weight and whatnot. So you love everybody, but the ones that take it seriously, you see what's happening here. I mean, I've never seen numbers like that before. That's insane.
Well, one of these on Sundays, we're going to talk about drilling down, and I've done a lot of trainings on that, and we'll have an in-depth conversation about drilling down and how to go from your warm market to somebody else's warm market to somebody else's warm market to somebody else's warm market, and so on and so on and so on, until you find, because every stud knows a dud and every dud knows a stud or studess.
Yeah.
So know somebody that if you just drill down, you'll find somebody, and everything else, all those other people might wash away, but the person that you were looking for is the person, and if you don't go find them, they're not going to find you. So you gotta do that. So hey guys, let's do this. Why don't we open up? Let's talk about any questions, anything that's on your mind, any challenges, anything that you want to chat about is fair game. So please feel free to come and participate. And
you still have the recording on. You want the recording on?
Yeah, we will. It's on. And
okay.
Yeah, so go right ahead. Just unmute yourself, and the mute button is down in the left-hand corner. All you got to do is hit that microphone and take it off.
Hey, Chuck, Coach Wally in Boston. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Mitch, what kind of cars you get, man?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Oh man, I got a Genesis G70 Sport.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's insane. It's going to switch. It's a long story, but it's about to switch colors from blue to silver. But I got to tell you, for the money, what a great car. Yeah.
Car of the year.
Oh yeah, man, that's incredible.
By the way. So.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. I'm pretty excited about it. I got to stay off the gas pedal though, or I'm going to get a lot of tickets, because that thing will pin you back in your seat. So.
That was fabulous, man.
Yeah, thank you. That was
okay.
That was definitely an important. Yeah. Listen, you got to get the car bonus, everybody. That's all there is to it, right? Diamond car bonus, 400, 800, up to a couple grand a month. That's what I'm talking about. It's even more fun when somebody else is paying for it.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
And better yet, Chuck, you've got Jen Melendez and her husband. She is a black diamond and he's a blue diamond.
Right.
What do you think their combined income is? 2 car bonuses.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
More
Hey,
fired
Chuck,
up.
Mitch. This is
Yeah,
Michael.
hey, Mike, what's going on?
Hey, not too much. My wife asked me a question, kind of caught me off guard. She said, "Why don't we just cut the package in half?" So the 6 days experience. She said, "Why don't we just cut it in half, give a person 3 and a business card, and that way you can have more sent out."
Well, if you're doing, I give, actually, I find myself giving away about half and then providing people with the other half. So if you figure you get 58 6-day experiences, that's 34 times 20, that's 600 and what, $40, I guess. So I don't know. And I like to teach people how to break even or get their money back quickly. But you can do whatever you want. The important thing is that you get it in their hands.
Righteous.
Yeah, man. Get them and try it. So,
Yeah. And again, guys, I mean, I really feel as if, the payback isn't in $20 increments. The
Right.
payback is in somebody coming into the business and buying a business builder pack, and you reaping the rewards of $100 and then $200 and then them getting into the business and putting other people in. So I don't ever look at it. I mean, a lot of people do look at it, like that. I don't. And so I differ greatly with in that one particular area. And it's kind of, Mitch brought up about training. Eric Worre. Eric was in my organization in another company, Eric and Jeff Olson. And I've made way more money than Eric, have way more hair, better looking. And but when he started GoPro, he found a niche, right? He found a niche, and now he's building a 17,000 square foot house in Las Vegas because he found a niche. He's feeding the niche, and he has become kind of like the people in the gold rush days, right? The people in the gold rush days, the people that made all the money were the people that were selling the stuff to all the miners, right? They were selling the pans and the picks and the shovels and everything, so Eric got that idea a long time ago, and it just took him a long time to finally put it together. In the meantime, he lost all of his hair. He had wore a toupee for a long time, but I told him to dump the toupee because that was horrible. But he does put on a great event and great people there, and people do learn a lot. But they can't get the in-depth one-on-one. You get a broad overview, right? You get that 30,000 foot view of what this industry is, not the grassroots, working perspective of the business. That's where things like this come in. So anyway, I'm glad you brought that up, Mitch. Okay, guys, what's up?
Hey,
Come
Chuck.
on.
Hey, Mitch, Chuck.
Hey, Mel.
What's going on? I heard a little bird, Mitch, that says that you miss me horrifically. Is that true?
yep, I miss you, Mel.
How can you not?
I'm suffering from lack of tacos.
How can you not miss the diamond life, man?
That's right. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, have Team Will Travel, right? You put Mel came over here, and he and I worked together for about a week. Got all kinds of great things started. So thanks. We miss you. We miss you, Mel.
Well, I love the team and I love the effort, and you guys do an incredible job. And I'm just proud of being with Valentis, and it's going to rock and it's going to change lives. And I hope everyone stays completely focused on the mission at hand. Right now, I'm at Publix getting some burritos and tacos.
Told you.
So, love you guys. Take care and God bless.
Okay.
Well, thanks a lot, Mel. I don't know. I look at what some of these teams are doing, Chuck, with the particularly these skinny little girls I'm always talking about. And I really didn't know that we had half a dozen people making 100,000 a week. You blew me away on that one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can figure out pretty much who they are, but man,
Right. Yeah.
that is insane.
Exactly.
Yep. And it's funny, if you go down the list of each person and their occupation, you got a guy that is dyslexic that worked in a potato chip factory. You got a doctor, a nurse. It's just all different walks of life.
All over. Yeah. All
Yeah.
over the map.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't see any professional salespeople there, though. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So, hey, Skinny.
That guy back there? Oh, I see
Yeah.
him.
I call him Skinny now. So anyway, hey guys, I'm going to be in all week. So if anybody needs me, to pull your team together and do a calls, whatever, I'm available. Just text me a note and give me a heads up. But otherwise, I'm just going to be here doing what I do. And I heard from my buddy Marshall, the theater in Carlsbad has opened, and the first 2 shows were sold out. I hadn't heard about the show Friday and Saturday this week, but I got to get his butt out of Carlsbad and back to Las Vegas so we can get some work done. So I've got John planted over there, and guys, I'm going to send this video out. We're working on a lead system basically, and what's going to happen is John and Marshall are going to do an event, a webinar at Marshall's house, and it's going to be very similar to one he did for Turning Point, and it will drive traffic to the registration page, and we'll have a real hot 2-minute, 3-minute video that will, get people to register on. They'll get enough information to go ahead and register, and then we've got a, surprise reward for them after they register, after they finish the whole webinar. And we figure that and then we'll do a training, right? So, I mean, if you kind of think about it for a second, we'll have 2-3 minute hot video that'll take that brand new person, that traffic, and it'll drive them to registering for the webinar. The webinar will now be about 12 minutes. So it's going to be very, very short, 10, 12 minutes. So we'll compact it. But then for all of those that are interested, now they can stick around and we'll do a training. And that's where we'll hammer them, right? And so Marshall will do his thing on mindset and, a few other things, and John will do his thing. And, between those two guys in those components, we're going to have a very, very, an awesome, sequence of events. And I think that we'll take a lot of people and we can drive a lot of traffic. So we just got to get the right combination of things done. And if you guys haven't seen that webinar platform, when you sign on to it, it looks like it's live. It looks like it's live every time. And it just so happens that you're so lucky that the next one's happening in 7 minutes. And you get to go live right into his living room, and so you're gonna love it. I'll send that link out to everybody so you can see it. But do watch that Turning Point webinar because it is informational. Number one, you'll get to see the flow, and then it is funny. I mean, it's funny, and and educational as well. So do watch that, and then you'll get to see what we're about to do. But these guys, Ron Malaysis is going to participate, and we're going to have some people in Las Vegas come and participate at Marshall's house, and Marshall's all excited about doing it. And the only thing that I've had difficulty doing is getting those two guys who actually live in Las Vegas long enough to do it. And I've been trying to do this now for months. And when one was there, the other one was gone. One was there, the other one was gone. And, you know, it's like ships crossing, you know, in the night. And so now I've got John there. John's not going to the Philippines. That event was today. And he's not going to Singapore, and he's not going to Malaysia. So he's going to be in Las Vegas. Partially because he's recovering from a root canal and, you know, some other dental things that he had to contend with. But hey guys, unless we have anything else to chat about, we'll call it a night. And if anybody's got any last comments or anything, just raise your hand. And otherwise,
anybody using the new app?
Yeah, the Share Valentis. Yeah, it's going very well.
It works really good.
Yeah. And we'll spend some time one of these days, you know, going through that and going over that. But yeah, I would definitely download the Share Valentis app. I'm also working on that SMS platform. And if you're not part of the SMS platform, my platform, Valentis has got their own SMS platform to send out notices. I've started one, and if you just text the word Valentis to 89800, and I know that's kind of confusing, but that's a short code, right? That's a short code. So that is the phone number that you're going to be texting to, and that will opt you right into that list. I'm also working on a bunch of things that will incentivize loyalty purchases. So I would spend some time, if you're not on a loyalty purchase right now, I would get on one because that's going to have dividends. And if your team is not signed up for loyalty purchases, I would help them get there also because they don't want to miss what's about to be released. So I'll just leave it at that. So I'm going to do that kind of on an individual basis based on rubies and above on 100 BV loyalty purchase. So you'll get more on that here shortly. So with that, hey, God bless everybody. Thanks for joining me here this evening. We will always start a little bit early. And again, I'll let you know the start time of the video, and then we'll go right from the video right into the training. So with that, adios, everybody. Thanks. We will see everybody this week. Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate it.
Okay, buddy.